Grammar is a mysterious part of language. Everybody knows it's important, but why it is so, very few can pinpoint it. Even for a writer and speaker like myself, I have been pondering for many days on what actually grammar is. What I do know is without having mastered grammar, I could not be a writer and speaker. So while I was swimming today, I finalized on what I would write on this topic of grammar with regards to its role in reading and writing. I went through my early days, as you'll recall from my language story, whereby I had to learn Nepali in class 7. I remember learning vocabulary, pronunciation, spellings, but when it comes to grammar, my memory become a bit jaded. I realized that it was because grammar is such an integral part of language that it's very difficult to put a finger on it. After thorough self investigation, I came to the conclusion that grammar is not needed unless you need to write. However, if in the future you as a student see yourself in a position where you would be required to write letters, emails, messages, documents, reports, proposals, plans, articles, or books, then having a poor grammar is a career killer. Look at your social media, and now and then you will encounter high flying people with astronomical job titles belonging to large companies who write a simple post of a few sentences or even a reply, but it is not grammatically correct. Immediately, your impression about that person goes down the drain. It's like having sand in your best pizza. It just spoils the whole experience. Also, you can compare it to a very well dressed person, but his zipper is open. That's bad. And worse is that this person isn't aware that not only his zipper is open, but that zippers should be closed. This is what grammar is all about. Not having sand in your food and knowing that the zipper must be closed when in public. However, if you have a vision of a career where you will not be writing anything, then you can skip grammar. It's okay. This is how you should, as a teacher, motivate the imposter students. They all want to become successful in their lives. They want to have status and power. Usually, those jobs involve writing and not simply cooking or tightening a nut and bolts. Once you make this argument, these imposters will start to listen. I have realized that the problem with our current education system is that we just haven't been honest with the students and told them why they need to study and especially study certain parts of a subject. Now, this is the reason why you should study grammar if you need to write in the future as part of your career. Then you don't want to have your pants zipper open and not being aware that it should be closed. The first thing that I learned about grammar when I was in class 7 is the syntax or order in which sentences are written. In English, we say, I eat rice. That is, the subject comes first, then the verb, and finally the object. But in Nepali, the syntax is a bit different. The subject comes first, then the object, and then finally the verb. So it sounds like this: I, rice, eat. Now, this sounds ridiculous. However, in Nepali, that's what's the correct grammar looks like, or what it means to have a closed zipper. Using the four brain learning approach, I want to explain to you how to explain your students who are the most stubborn about not wanting to learn about grammar, how to enjoy learning grammar. Grammar is mostly a skill brain quadrant subject. It is full of rules and some exceptions. However, there are some students who just do not like to learn the rules because they think they are illogical. The fact is, they are right. One of the most illogical languages is the English language, with so many awkward rules and exceptions both in the spelling and the pronunciation. It's almost enough to make anybody lose his mind. However, by using the wisdom brain quadrant, you can help those students stuck in the illogical conundrum come out and embrace grammar. You have to bridge it with the concept of cities. Yes, you heard me right. Grammar is like a city. At the beginning, people just gather around the place. They build houses next to one another, have some roads, have a square. But later on, they might realize that the roads are too narrow and the houses do not have a sewage system. Ideally, once the new inventions are made, like cars and sewage systems, it would be nice to destroy the whole old cities and start from scratch. However, it's not possible, and the city planners do their best to build upon the old city and add roads here, roads there, drainage here, drainage there. We now have a very awkward city like my own town of Kathmandu. There are so many narrow streets where there should be wider streets. There are less open space. The rivers are more encroached than they should be. There's not enough space for parking. But whatever the problem is, we are not going to destroy this whole city. Instead, we make some rules and some exceptions. Then we learn them. In some cities, driving is on the left, while in others it's on the right side of the road. There is no particular logic in which side is best. Most of the cities in the world were started around a river, and they expanded outwards, and that's the only logic that is there. Why did the city expand too much in the east instead of the west? Well, there couldn't be much logic in that. Now, what I'm trying to get at is that grammar is something similar, like a city. At first, there was nothing written, so everything was spoken. Later on, writing was developed, and they had to codify the language. So it's like the city planners starting to build over the old city in the ideal concept of a city. Similarly, the founders of the language started to make rules, components of language, so that whatever was being spoken could be written. Over time, the cities developed metros, flyovers, trams, cable cars, water systems, electrical systems, telephone systems, and now fiber optics. Similarly, the founders of language developed new tools like adjectives, adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, pronouns, tenses, and so on, in order to be able to express ideas even more succinctly. I'm not sure if there is a history of grammar because I haven't done research on it, but it would pretty much match what I just said, I believe. So, although there is no particular logic of language, we can bridge it with at least development of cities. This should be enough to help the stubborn students to be motivated to start learning the rules of grammar and their exceptions. In order to do that, there are so many apps online. They don't even need to go back to school books. Still easier, you can go to MS Words, and we all know that the red underline represents spelling errors and the green underline represents grammatical errors. So they can just learn by hit and trial even. Then going to the knowledge brain quadrant, you can tell the students that there is a lot of pattern and interrelation in the various elements of grammar. The three tenses, namely past, present, future, the three pronouns, namely I, you, he, she, it, the duality of singular and plural, the two forms of voices, passive voice and active voice. The point is, there is not just irrationality in grammar, but it's a pattern. If you know the pattern in English, then it's easier to learn other languages anticipating a similar pattern. And that's the logical part of any language. Many people extend this interrelation of languages to programming languages. If you learn, for example, C++, then it's not far stretch to learn Python or .NET or PHP, because all the programming language also follow some kind of grammar patterns. So this much for grammar.